Hey everyone, Garbage here. If you play multiplayer games, then you know what it's like to be in a waiting room waiting for a game to start. In PUBG, you just stand around for a bit. In CSGO, you have the warm-up round. Some games like Overwatch disguise it as the hero select screen, but virtually all multiplayer games have a short waiting period before the game starts. But why? You're probably aware that before you start playing any game, the game first has to load in the map, the textures, character models, audio files, etc. from your hard drive onto your system's memory. The speed at which this happens depends largely on the type of hard drive you have. Some hard drives are faster than others. In a multiplayer game, if the game were to start the instant the lobby fills up, then some people with slower hard drives might spawn into a partially loaded game that's missing textures or even entire chunks of the map, and that's not good for anyone involved, and so the server has to give players time to finish loading. One way to do this is to have the server simply wait until each player in the lobby finishes loading, and indeed many games do this, but this can sometimes result in very long waiting periods where you're just staring at a loading screen for several minutes before anything happens, and that kinda sucks. Another way to do it is once a player has finished loading, just throw them into a waiting room where they can hang out or have a little deathmatch while waiting for the other players to load. That way they can at least have something to occupy their time. Waiting rooms will typically last for about 30 to 60 seconds before the game starts because that's usually enough time for most players to finish loading. Anyone who hasn't finished loading by then can either be kicked out of the server or, if the game mode allows it, be loaded in sometime after the game starts. Like I mentioned before, the type of hard drive you have will greatly impact your loading speed. Solid-state drives, better known as SSDs, are typically much faster than your standard disk drives, and so if you have the option, it's recommended that you install games on an SSD. It won't improve your performance, but it will make loading times much faster. The latest gen consoles have SSDs for this exact reason. Overall, I'm a big fan of the warm-up round style of waiting room, and I suspect most people are. But what I want to know is, do you think we'll ever get to a point where waiting rooms aren't necessary? Maybe if cloud gaming becomes the norm? Maybe not? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, and bell. Links to my Twitter and everything else down below. And as always, have a nice day.